To Football First, and we head straight back to the MCG where Tredders and Tom Wren join us live. And Tommy, there were no surprise selections from the Power.
Yes, that's right, Kim. They are unchanged for this match tomorrow night, Tredders. That is a massive boost for the Power.
Yeah, it's a good get, especially when you know Paul Stewart was there waiting, good form in the SNFL. But Sam Colquhoun was the question mark with a hamstring injury. But he's played some pretty good footy. Last week wasn't so good, but the hamstrings come up, so that's great news for Ken Hinkley.
OK, let's go to the Cats side now. They've made the 3 changes. Both the Hunts are back in, but the big one, Tommy Hawkins.
Yeah, he's a beauty. It's going to be offset, though, by Enright missing, because Enright's been phenomenal in defence, and he played on Chad Wingart so well last time, so it's going to be a pretty even ledger.
Now, Ken Hinkley hasn't had to make any decisions at the selection table just yet, but he's got plenty to make in terms of who he matches up on the Cats' big guns.
There's just an enormous amount of players in their side that we could apply Dom to, or Kane to, or Andrew Moore to, someone like that. So it's just a matter of making sure we get what we think's the right matchup. Clearly, I'm not going to say exactly what that is.
Tom Hawkins remained in cotton wool this morning. The final word on his dodgy back won't be known until close to game time.
Nothing's changed over the last few weeks. He's a bit of a day-to-day proposition, but we're pretty confident.
Meanwhile, Hinkley's looking no further than tomorrow's semi, but flagged his interest in snaring the 2010 draft's number 5 pick, Jared Polec, who wants out of Brisbane.
Clearly a player that's been picked that high in the draft, got an unbelievable amount of talent, that Port Adelaide Football Club would be incredibly interested in him as a player, and you know, if we could possibly convince him to come and play at our football club next year, we'd look forward to doing that.
Gee, Tredders, if they could add Polec to that list, that would be a massive boost to that young team.
Well, he's a first-round draft pick from a few years ago, a bit injury-prone, but certainly if he came back to Port, it'd help. But I'll tell you what, Rennie, I was given a great privilege yesterday. Caught up with Ollie Wines. He is a superstar, a young kid. He's going to be playing out here tomorrow, and this is what he said. When the going got tough last Saturday night, 18-year-old Ollie Wines got going.
Wines, he's kicked the goal. There's the answer.
2 clutch goals and defying his pre-match jitters.
Gee, that's a mammoth kick.
It's definitely my most nervous I've ever been in my life, I think.
Chad Wingart also stood tall. The pair of great mates, and along with Tom Cleary and Jake Need, form the Power's version of a Rat Pack.
So I think we've formed a really good bond between us, and hopefully that can hold us in good stead for many years to come.
In the players' inner sanctum, Wines reveals he sees a long future at Alberton.
I'm absolutely loving my time at the club.
He's not so happy about his nickname, Quadzilla.
I do have big legs, but they're not too big to get Quadzilla.
He's also known as the coach's pet.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Kenny gives me a few extra days home.
Home is the Victorian town of Echuca, where Wines indulges in his passion for water skiing. But tomorrow his mind will be firmly focused on the MCG.
If we can put a really good running performance and hard and contested game together, we've got a really good chance of beating a really strong Cats team.
Great story, Tredders. Really good stuff with Ollie Wines. But I have to ask you about the other game now as well. Sydney and Carlton. No late changes for the Blues, but Sydney, 2 changes and no Adam Goods. What's going on there?
Well, hasn't played since round 13 when he hurt his posterior cruciate in his knee. That was against Port Adelaide, and that was after Kurt Tipper just returned to the team. So that's how long ago. Smart move. They can't play him when he's got no match fitness in such a cutthroat final.
All right, Tredders, it's money time. Who are your tips?
Port Adelaide didn't pick them last week. I'll tell you what, they impressed me last week. If they're close at quarter time, they'll win this game. So I'm backing the home, my old team anyway. And I'm going to pick Sydney at home. I'm not confident at all, but Carlton, I'll tell you what, they'll put in a fair fight.
Hope you get 2 out of 2 this week, Tredders. You look pretty smart in the shirt and tie as well.
I try.
Thanks very much, Tom. We'll let Tredders stand up now as well.